Hi, welcome to the Women's Foundation of Oregon's 2017 Grantmaking video. Couldn't be more excited to introduce you to this year's finalists. We looked all over the state to find organizations that are having a tremendous impact on women and girls in Oregon. This year, for the first time ever, we're bringing you organizations who both do direct service work, working with individuals and communities, and who focus on state-level systems change. Both of these kinds of organizations are incredibly important to us here at the Women's Foundation, and we know they're important to you too. Let's go meet our finalists.
We provide support to individuals and families who have experienced domestic violence, sexual assault, elder abuse, or vulnerable adult abuse. And we've been in the community for over 30 years providing these services.
The funding that we're asking for is specifically to build a Promotora model here in Clackamas County. And so the Promotora model is by the community for the community. And so that's when a training curriculum is created. There's a coordinator designated, there's funding designated for that, to where they're going to recruit, train, supervise, and support members from the community that could be identified as leaders and champions from the very communities that need that support.
Bueno, yo tenía un problema.
I had a problem with my partner. I didn't know how to leave him. I was continuing with him, so I didn't know where to go. I don't have family here. Then I came here, they support me, and they helped me to look for a home. So they pay me some part of the rent. They help me with the deposit. Now I have a home with my children.
And our agency, being a domestic and sexual violence agency, sometimes it's hard for folks to make their way here because of all those standing barriers, which is language, literacy, transportation, fear of possibly law enforcement, or because of their immigration status. And so by having folks from the very community in those pockets be trained on this information that's pivotal for them to have, to take out and spread out around the community, then those services will be bridged faster.
And when they bring you emotional support, then you become more strong to be in life and for your children.
Because of the high barriers that are within the Latino immigrant community, we're saving lives.
Our organization is Domestic Violence Services Incorporated, and we provide services for victims of sexual assault and domestic violence in Umatilla County and in Morrow County. What we would like to do here at Domestic Violence Services with the funding from the Women's Foundation is enhance our outreach into Morrow County, to establish an office in Heppner, which is at the far south end of Morrow County, and to get some equipment and furniture to have that office be a welcoming space so people can come in and visit with our advocates. And we would also like to purchase a parenting curriculum called Parenting Now to teach families of children ages 0 to 6, empower them for the parenting skills.
We were in a verbal, physical, abusive situation. If it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't have gotten through this. They helped me go through what I needed to do legally and emotionally for me and my children.
Unfortunately, often domestic violence and sexual assault is occurring everywhere. But when you live in a very rural area, a very conservative area, sometimes those issues are not acknowledged, or nobody wants to really believe it. People don't want to believe that's happening in their area. And so we are here when it does happen to try to provide them with safety and services, and to promote skills so that they can eventually get into a life that is free of violence.
I'm getting better. Me and my children are happier. Their father is locked up, and we're doing good.
We are a nonpartisan organization that works on improving women's economic security, knowing that that has impacts on whole families and whole communities. We as an organization don't provide direct services. The work that we're focused on is really trying to prevent the crisis. A grant from the Women's Foundation for us would support some of our core work around a set of issues that we think have real impacts for women's economic security, around the ways that we're able to organize more women into the work of making those things possible. We have organizing work happening in various parts of the state because for us it's really critical that more women's voices are heard in the process of making these changes.
I wasn't really sure what we were doing was making a difference. You know, you show up to a march, and you go to a rally with a sign, and then you go home and it's like, well, what have we done? With Family Forward, they direct you on how you can actually make change. You know, you need to call this lawmaker, you need to, you know, write a letter to this newspaper.
We're involved in a couple of different efforts right now to create a paid family and medical leave insurance program for the state of Oregon, to expand access to affordable child care, to ensure that all women are being paid equally for equal work in a variety of ways, that they're experiencing less discrimination around their caregiving responsibilities.
I never imagined that I would go and speak in front of lawmakers. I had never imagined that I could do something like that. Family Forward definitely gave me the confidence and the skills to be able to go down there and do that.
You know, for Rachel, I think it's been really critical to come together with other women and to feel like they're building power together to make something really big happen.
Hi! Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Come on in.
Thanks for having us.
Our organization is a nonprofit public interest law firm that addresses unmet legal needs of justice-involved individuals and works toward criminal justice reform. The funding from the Women's Foundation of Oregon would help to fund the work that I do, providing direct legal services to women who are incarcerated in Coffee Creek Correctional Facility and formerly incarcerated women, and also to work toward our Her Story Oregon project, which collects the stories of women who are justice involved in Oregon and to highlight their voices and bring them to the table.
The first visit, Julia came in and she spoke with me. You know, we went over a number of things like licensing and my legal issues with my son. She came back a few weeks later, and the information that she provided me on my child case was priceless. DHS had awarded him to my ex, to his father, and he took him to Colorado, and I thought that was it. That was all. I still had parental rights. She gave me that information. I had no idea. I still had a chance of proving myself to get my son back. It gave me a reason to want to change, a reason to want to move forward when I got out, and it helped me know that I had a shot at getting something I wanted out of life. Now I'm going on a year and a half out. I've got 3 years clean and sober. I've got my son, and I know what direction I'm taking.